everyone, it's Dinah, and we are back with more of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., this time on to episode number 20 of Season 5. Last time we had, what did we have? We had Talbot, the birth of what I am, until the show gives me a proper name, I mean, to be fair, we literally only saw him last episode, so presumably either this episode or in the coming kind of final kind of couple, we would get a proper name, but we saw the birth and the literal, actual, elevation and the rise and everything of Gravitonium Talbot. He took it all. Every last drop, 100% from that machine. He took it all, seemingly without breaking a sweat too, and he had obviously with 100% too, he had like way stronger kind of crushing and pulverizing powers than Ruby had with it and everything. So yeah, and he used it to crush the Ramothans, to crush the alien kind of assassin kind of crew that Kovas sent down to retrieve the Gravitonium in the first place and to actually kill everyone and shit in the lighthouse and everything. So I mean, with the alien ship being there, I think the team was actually under nuclear lockdown thanks to Coulson and his impatience with not ancient, but like 1980s or 70s like technology and everything. So instead of actually opting for the alien invasion protection protocol, he went for the nuclear lockdown one instead, because he thought those were the only two options, and as soon as he pressed nuclear lockdown, it came with the alien invasion. So then the team were actually, so then it was meant to last for about 15 years, but then because of Talbot and his new powers actually allowing him to break through the ground and lift Coulson up with him. I actually went back and checked it in the scene. I think Coulson actually was like, it was like an actual platform he raised with him and Coulson on it. So I think wherever he's going, he took Coulson with him. So I mean, don't know if he actually is headed straight for the Confederacy ship, or if he's actually just kind of finding his way to the surface or something, because then don't know if having the Gravitonium in him would actually, because we don't know exactly how it's actually changed his mental state from what it was before or anything. So if he's now kind of linked to the Kree or linked to the Gravitonium in like a different way than Kree and Ruby were, or if something else happened, because then he's shown far more still he was 100% human too. I think Creel was a human with powers, and the Gravitonium still actually affected him negatively and stuff, but Talbot, having had no powers and having undergone severe kind of brain trauma and mental trauma, and actually having been even slightly kind of brainwashed by Hydra beforehand too, he took it in stride, and then he actually walked away from it, and he walked off with it, having become even physically stronger too. So yeah, there's we can only really wait and see and see exactly how what new connections or what new kind of traits that's given him, besides from the force crushing and everything like that. I think even just looking back at that crushing scene is just so just wow to even look at, to think about. It's just seeing how much stronger he's grown. Like this, you seeing even the VFX for that too. Because I thought Alex's one was gory, but this one I think I do kind of feel like Alex's one was still even slightly gorier, because then that was still like a human one. But with this one, it was a bit even to look at it, it's still kind of slightly more shocking. But then it's like, because I think because that one, because the base is in lockdown and it's powered down, and because it's darker and everything, I think you can't properly see any kind of proper graphic detail, but you can still there's still some actual kind of blood content coming out, and you can still kind of tell the body's actually being snapped and contorted and everything. But I think with Alex's one, you can actually see his skull being dented and his eyes going bloodshot and everything, like almost like Black Bolt level, and like maybe like a little bit of like Loki level too, like from Infinity War and everything. And speaking of Infinity War 2, I think I do remember a comment a couple of reactions ago talking about how this kind of section of the season is actually dated like pretty close to Infinity War. So it's takes place about like a week or maybe like a few days before Infinity War takes place. Yes, I think Infinity War like that movie alone takes place across the space of a few days or a couple of days at most. So yeah, I think all the more curious to see what kind of a tie-in we might get, if we might get a visual of the Q ship coming to Earth, like the one that goes to Scotland, I think it is, where Vision and Wanda are, or maybe to New York, because then that's where Strange and Spider-Man and Tony are and everything, and Bruce and everything. So I don't know if we might get like a word of some kind of invasion happening, like Q ships in the Earth's atmosphere, or you know, like some kind of visual or something. So yeah, I mean, we know they probably they probably can't interfere or anything, but you know, interesting to see what they pull off. And I think we don't know yet, but either way, I think just, you know, you mentioned Infinity War. I think that it just reminded me of that comment. So yeah, so it's good to know exactly where along the kind of space-time continuity this takes place. So yeah, we had Daisy out for the majority of the episode because she was actually outside the Shield base as well. She was actually chasing down a lead from Tony Kane about a way to save Coulson that Kane might have found, like, to do with Garrett and the Centipede Serum, and a map like a very kind of blacklisted map that actually led her all the way to Jiang's grave, wherever that is. So then something buried, I think, in Jiang's grave, possibly along with her body, is the key to saving Coulson, or could be the key to saving Coulson. So I'm all the more curious to see what could be buried with her and exactly how it could help Coulson, because I think it being Jiang's grave is the kind of somewhat kind of bigger kind of question, like, you know, like if it's something actually connected to her, or if it's actually just something that they actually buried there with her for safekeeping or something. Because I remember back in season 1, I think the key to finding out exactly or at least the key to actually finding out even slightly what happened to Phil and how he was brought back and all that kind of stuff was actually buried with him too. Like, I think it was like an actual USB drive that was buried where kind of Coulson's grave was. I actually had that kind of video on file. Like, I still remember that ending. Like, that ending kind of took me back to like an actual video created by Coulson telling Fury to actually shut the Tahiti project down because it was just too fucking messed up and everything. So that was literally buried with him. So I wonder if it could be like an actual similar thing with Jiang too. But then my first kind of go-to theory was literally like Terrigen crystals. But then the Terrigen crystals that she made actually had diviner stuff infused. I mean, it wouldn't have to be the ones that she made. It could still be something like related to that. But then again, that's for Inhumans. So then that's for Inhumans. So then it wouldn't like fully work with someone like Coulson. So maybe something not connected to her, but just kind of buried with her in the same way that it was actually for Coulson. But either way, we'll find out. I'm rambling, so we'll find out. So she's there. So I do kind of wonder maybe if this episode might be different, because then we didn't see much of Daisy last episode because she was doing that, and then the only times we did is because they wanted to clarify what Daisy was up to without actually taking away from the main Shield team in the lighthouse too much. So then I wonder if this episode might run in the opposite. So then last episode was more lighthouse heavy, but then this episode is more like, oh, Daisy actually was doing some stuff off screen last episode, so now you get to see what that is. I think I wonder if it might be kind of formatted that way as like an actual kind of like a interconnected kind of like a two-part or something. So I don't know, but either way, she's been doing bits on the side too, so that's cool. And Fitzsimmons and Deke are also somewhat kind of exploring the multiverse theory and how it connects to Deke too, with Fitzsimmons' current standing theory being that if the future is truly averted and the future that they saw doesn't come to pass, then that means that Deke may well be erased from existence, and then seeing that happen will be the only way they know for sure that they've saved the future. But then, you know, Deke's kind of thing being that he can still hopefully and potentially exist outside of that timeline in this new timeline without having to go back to it, or without having to be tethered to it or connected to it or anything. So the way I see it, he's not specifically tethered to that timeline. So them even averting it should only be like a matter of like them creating like a new timeline where that future, which is actually like one out of many futures that could happen, doesn't happen, and then he is allowed to actually exist, like to actually coexist with them in this new one and actually live a life of his own. So I guess we'll see where that one leads to. So that's my stuff. I think that's Yo-Yo's thing. We had like a bit of time exploring that and exploring like the kind of team's reaction to that and how she's dealing with that, how she's processing it, like even her stuff with Matt going on to it, how Matt kind of is struggling to kind of deal with that aftermath and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how they move forward with that, like how they move forward with each other and how Yo-Yo moves forward with this choice and everything. So I'm still very much kind of in agreement with May's line of thinking in that particular kind of segment, and how she kind of defined it based on her own experience and everything. And I'm hoping that Yo-Yo can actually kind of take that in and actually kind of use that to process herself and process it and actually move forward and everything. And hopefully it doesn't really kind of drag the team too far behind or anything. So hopefully we'll see. I think with what we've got left to go and what we've got coming up, I think it probably is for the best to actually kind of like move forward with it and actually know that like she did kind of what she had to do with its implications, both personal and external, and however it kind of might affect her moving forward. But you know, they're still a team, they've got a mission to do, and again, hard calls are made, so it'll be cool to see how everything keeps rolling. So yeah. But yeah, besides from that, that is it. So yeah, on to episode number 20. Let me turn the page. Episode number 20 of season 5. Let's go. Oh boy, whoa, literally flying through the sky. It's like Aladdin's magic carpet. He's shown Carson the world. He's shown Carson the world.
You and I are gonna show these ETs who's boss. Don't worry.
He's still got his sass. He even pumped the Gravitonium, he's still got his sass. Yeah. Oh, back to this. Oh, so we are maintaining the same old title card then. Okay. Interesting. Does that mean the Earth could still be destroyed? Is that what they're maintaining here?
Where's Mack? Went to make sure the threat's been neutralized.
The Romoa threat? Surely he got all of them. Come on, if Talbot didn't get all of them, then what was even the point of that scene? That was... Oh, there's one left? Is it one left? Just the one? Or... No, there's others. How many did they send down? Whoa. Oh, it's that, oh, what's it called? It's that Kree poison thing. I forgot what it's called. Odium. Oh, it's gonna juice him up. He's gonna get juiced up again. It juices them up. It's like a blaze of glory. Oh, shit, yeah.
But what about the voices?
Bunch of dead losers raising a ruckus. Turns out all they needed was a general to get them in line.
Ah, they need a leader. That actually is a pretty sound logic, yeah.
Your impudent tone is only
I said this is my ship!
Oh, he can crush him. He can just crush him, just break his arms. Isn't that hostility, though?
Seems like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders there.
Oh. Oh gosh, like a little ball. Is this the best option, really? Killing his men in front of him?
I said kneel! Before me!
Kneel before Talbot. Oh shit, this actually worked. Oh my god, this is working. Fucking Talbot rises.
It's pretty good teamwork, Phil.
Might want to check the dictionary first. That actually worked. I guess literally contorting one of his men in front of him actually is a pretty good show of power.
The odium gives the power of the gods to those in final battle.
First of all, there's only one god.
It is glory.
I'd love to have Mack visit Asgard. I would just love to. Yeah, obviously not now, not in present day, but still. Oh. Oh, right. So the odium still results in death then?
God definitely doesn't want you drinking that garbage.
How it works.
Seems there's been a development with your Destroyer of Worlds project.
Yeah, in a manner of speaking. Yeah. The last person you expected to become the Destroyer of Worlds.
Daisy Johnson went into the machine.
Actually, it was someone a little more out of the box.
You dragged me away from my family. Kept me in a hole for 6 months.
Is he gonna kill Hale?
Messed with my head. Why should I believe a single word coming out of your mouth?
As a military man, I'd hate to buck tradition.
Did the Gravitonium buff him up? He actually seems like he has a bit more muscle mass now, rather than if he's just puffing up his chest as he walks.
It could take hours to rewire this antiquated system, and by then, who knows what cosmos the morass will have escaped to.
Whoa. Who did this? Was it Deke? It was Deke.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What? It's a thing. It's a thing that people do to celebrate.
Not cool people.
What's wrong with a high five? High fives are cool. What's wrong with a high five? Would you prefer fist bumps or pushing each other around?
Well, you do have family here.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
Oh, well, don't get me wrong.
You guys
First time Fitz actually looks offended
totally
at
not disappointments at all.
Lighthouse, this is Daisy Johnson.
Daisy
Yeah,
Bell.
we're here, Daisy. Sorry, we just had some technical difficulties.
See, I got you there. I've been trying to get through for 30 minutes.
Bones? Is it Jiang's Bones? Whoa, she just right hooked Yo-Yo? And now they're fighting. Okay. Oh, God.
Oh, you want to use powers now?
Oh, God. Oh. Oh.
Definitely win.
Either find a way to pitch in, or don't be here when we get back.
How hard is she going to fight to preserve that prophecy that Coulson must die or the Earth gets destroyed?
These snowflakes seem awfully precious about decorum. I'll just take the alien.
Okay, but remember.
He looks different, like a new facial hair, new hair. Does he have a new suit?
Fix this.
Does he have a new suit? What? The shit.
Pretty cool, actually.
Yo, that's a good suit.
Good.
The three little
robes, guy.
dots, the cape, the cloak. He looks good.
An order, you'll... All right, Chuckles.
Yo, Graviton Talbot has got some dread. Oh, even the hair as well. He's actually slicked it back and got a shave and everything. What a look. What a look. That is a good look.
It's time you met Earth's mightiest hero.
Oh, shit. I'd like to see Graviton Talbot go up against the Avengers for that title.
Also, some creep put a bunch of lemons on my bed.
Oh, he did the lemons. Oh, Deke, you did the lemons.
Sounds like classic Fitz.
Oh. Oh, he did the lemons. What a cutie.
Look,
Everyone who gets close to me ends up dying.
Me too.
Lincoln.
Who's Lincoln?
Oh, Lincoln.
Lincoln Campbell.
I miss him.
He was the first Inhuman that I became close with.
It sounds like you were really in love with this guy.
Kinda still am.
I mean, hey, Deke, if anything, you don't want to be a
Which is
rebound.
why
We're gonna find a way to save him.
Oh, Deke.
Sorry, you were gonna tell me something.
Fitzsimmons are my grandparents.
That makes so much sense. You and Fitz are both so... You're such people.
You can say handsome, it's fine. You can say handsome. They really made it a whole, like, oh, can't even confess to your crush thing because it's awkward and she doesn't feel the same way and everything. They really pulled that off. Damn.
I submit.
To add another would desecrate the order.
This is like a room full of Democrats. You get the rules and your regulations. Who's really...
Is he a Republican? Is Talbot a Republican? Oh, is he gonna kill one of the Confederacy? If he takes one out, he can take over. Yeah, if he kills one of the members, he can take over. He can take a seat. Yeah, and again, an incredible show of power. Yeah. Oh! Is he consuming him? Whoa, he can do that too! That's a new power unlocked. Frickin' skill points. He just consumed him. Whoa. Like Agent Smith consuming and stuff, yeah.
But it's not that simple.
Simple. It's following the good word and doing the right thing every time. Simple as that.
There are lots of instances in history where it was necessary to sacrifice the few in order to save the lives of many. Ruby was dangerous, and it got complicated, and that is just the way it was.
You need to look inside yourself and figure out what kind of man you want to be. Because lately, what you've been,
The Doctor.
it needs fixing.
Oh, the Doctor in Fitz. The Doctor would absolutely let that kind of shit slide. Oh, God. Whoa, is that his brain? Is that an alien brain? Have we seen that before? I don't think so. They really tore him apart. They tore his skull open first. Oh, gosh.
The heart exploded? Rather macabre, isn't it?
That's the heart! That is the size of a brain. I'm sorry, but that heart is the size of a brain. That is the size of a brain.
What matters is that we might be able to save Coulson by combining that with my...
So the centipede serum
DNA.
combined with inhuman DNA. Ah.
This feels like we may be crossing a line.
I am the firstborn Tarian, master of the House
Tarian.
of
Cassius, master of the House of
Cassius.
Cassius.
Certainly has a ring.
The way you handled yourself.
Is he the dad? Is he the father?
Thanos.
Thanos!
His forces have begun an
The
assault
big
on your world even
cheese.
as we speak.
Well, then I've
Yeah.
got to get down there with the Avengers and take on this Thanos.
Thanos' strength is unrivaled.
He probably could. Graviton Talbot versus Thanos.
With your powerful friends.
Oh, so that's what they have to fight then. Thanos' attack.
Ask for change.
Okay. Okay.
How many times have we worked together, only for me later to find out you weren't being above board?
Do you trust this Confederacy member?
Named Cassius. Said he has 2 sons of his own.
Oh,
Did you say Cassius?
Cassius, no. Yeah, Coulson knows.
Is this another angle you're playing, Phil?
Glenn.
We are at war.
You've dealt with aliens for 2 hours. You've known Phil for years.
You're either with me
Or against me?
Obviously, I'm with you.
Then kneel.
Glenn.
It's true, Protector. The one who can save us all.
The only man in the sky. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck me. Oh. I mean, he's no Homelander, obviously, but still. Oh, no. Glenn, why? Come on. He's your friend. He's your buddy. He's your... God. So now Talbot's becoming our new enemy, really? Whoa, that's a hell of a boost. Yeah, up to space. Okay, they're on better terms. That's I'm counting that as a win. They're on better terms, even for now. I love the ship. Oh, that is a good cloaking. That's a good. I love the ship shots. I love the ship shots in this show.
The less we talk about it, the better. Now unzip that duffel and get me a viable sample.
So what, are you just gonna dismember her bones? Like to take an arm, a leg, maybe some toes?
Quinn's team originally found gravitonium at the bottom of one of his mines.
How did you know that?
He just told me.
Oh, they can communicate in his head then! They can actually get them to talk to him.
How's that possible?
Whatever happens next is on you.
Oh no. They can't kill Daisy and May. Oh, Daisy versus Talbot. Daisy versus Talbot.
Shield is not your enemy.
Ruby was weak. Gravitonium wasn't intended for some itty-bitty little girl. It was meant for a hero strong enough to handle it.
You need to take a deep breath and calm your mind, Glenn.
Oh, don't try that compliance stuff on him now. He will snap you. Don't try that compliance stuff on him. Oh, he's gonna go for Hale. He's gonna do Hale. He's gonna do Hale. No, he's gonna kill. He's totally killing Hale.
And so will your betrayal.
Oh God. Oh, he's unfazed. He's moving, but he's unfazed. He's completely unfazed. Oh God.
You were always the enemy, Phil.
Oh
Only now I
God.
have the clarity of mind to see it.
Oh, look at him. Graviton Talbot in all his glory. Oh, God. Daisy.
To taking mine home.
No. Oh, he wanted the Destroyer of Worlds in the beginning. Thinking because Heist was going to take him. Oh, now they've got Daisy in this timeline. Oh, fuck me sideways. Okay. Oh, shit. 70 notes, a little space. Ugh. They didn't give him a... So for now, I'm actually still stuck with Graviton, but they didn't fully give him a name, nor did he actually dub himself with a name just yet. I really thought the ending of the episode might be like, because he said like, some line about like, oh, like the hero the Earth really needs, or like me, or something. So I thought he might use that as an opportunity to actually use that as an opportunity to dub himself with a name, or like that final ending shot with his hands on his hips and the camera kind of framed on him and everything. I thought that might be the name to be like, I am Talbot or Gravitor or something, like just something, but no, not yet. So I don't know, maybe next time he reintroduces himself, because I think this one like more of like an opening kind of arc thing for him. So maybe next episode when he's actually fully settled into being whoever he is and being the new kind of leader that he is and everything, might be the way to go. So yeah, looking forward to it. But what they did give him, a new look. My God, his new look his new look actually fucking slaps. It actually goes hard. That actually it is really not a bad suit, and it's quite a good suit too. So it's really quite a good suit too. So yeah, I think I do kind of wonder like if the suit itself is like an actual like has any abilities of its own like that allows him to harness gravitonium or connect to his thing. He has like those three little dots on it that I don't know if they actually do anything or if they're just decorations, or like maybe if it's like a way to look to, because they even clean him up to they even actually let him have a shave and actually styled his hair up and they put a bit of makeup on him and everything, and then actually gave him like a new suit and like a new kind of shoulder pieces and like a cloak and everything. So could have been something that was simply more presentable and more kind of regal looking, or kind of more leadership looking. But it would be cool if it actually kind of does function as a suit of its own, and actually does allow him to use the Gravitonium, because I think even the way he even killed that guy with the Gravitonium by actually consuming him too, like the Gravitonium coming out of him too, that was like a whole new kind of thing. So I don't know, but either way, that look goes hard. That is a pretty well designed costume. That is a pretty well designed costume, and it looks so great on Talbot too. So I mean, the costume department on this show has always been just amazing. They do so much good work on this show. Pretty sure Anne Foley is in charge of costume designing and everything, so she has done nothing but impress with this show, and she even did work on She-Hulk too, so her work is nothing but just just everything, just wow, you know. So just damn with Graviton, but just hats off to her, hats off to whatever team she has working for her. Just wow, just the design elements of this show just never fails to impress, never fucking fails to impress. So yeah. Simmons did predict a psychotic break for him based on what they've seen with the others, like with Creo and like with Ruby. They've actually seen, I mean, they never saw an action with Creo, but then with Ruby they saw it happen immediately afterwards too. So based on what they've seen with them, she did kind of predict like a psychotic break for him. But if it is coming for Talbot, it's taken its time. It's taken its sweet time. I think not only that, but then it's like the only sign of connection he's shown with the voices in his head is communication. The others, like Creo and Ruby, only ever heard them arguing back and forth and even getting louder and actually being really loud and strugglesome. But with Talbot, it's like, oh, Quinn just told me, like him and his team found mines of Gravitonium under the earth, and so Quinn actively told him that too. So that is like a whole new milestone. So for whatever, I mean, I say for whatever reason, but I genuinely, I really kind of do think that maybe, thing is, like with Talbot too, like, even after what he'd been through, he was still walking, he was still able enough to actually, to listen to Coulson, and to cooperate. Like, he cooperated during the whole prison break thing, and getting them back to S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything. He still cooperated with Daisy too, you know, like, even with his brain injury, with the trauma from that, and him fighting to actually regain memories and motor control and all that kind of stuff, and even with the Hydra brain, which I think this stuff kind of, like, even with all of that running in tandem with each other, he was still able to communicate and understand clearly. Like, he lashed out a few times, but then that was still a part of, like, what he'd been going through. So even with all that, he was still able to cooperate, he was still able to kind of, you know, listen and understand and actually kind of communicate his own needs and his own stuff clearly and everything. So he was able to do that. So I think because of that, but because he was already, you know, kind of handling that, like, probably better than you'd expect him to, I think maybe then the Gravitonium actually can like consuming that, like taking in that kind of power, allowed him to control that side of him, but then also allowed him to have greater control over everything, and actually allowed him to communicate with the voices too. So yeah, I don't know, it is just remarkable to actually look at and think about and everything. So and even the way he described it, like, even the way he actually described his kind of consciousness after, like, after taking the Gravitonium too, like him, because even Coulson pointing out that, like, every time, like the other two people, the only other two people to take in the Gravitonium just struggled with the voices and couldn't handle them at all or anything. So now with this one, but then even Talbot's own words being like, you know, those voices simply needed a leader to come along and tell them what to do. So then, you know, like, this entire episode is just him making people kneel, making them talk to him, making them answer to him and everything. So even in his own head, he's like, he's probably literally making Quinn and Hall kneel and everything, and probably even the other Kree, kind of the sixth council member that he took into him too, he's probably in his head kneeling as well. So yeah, Talbot, you know, he's built differently. Talbot really is fucking built differently. He just, you know, he makes everyone kneel before him, and he makes an actual boss of the Gravitonium and everything. So he's just built differently, and I think I don't know if, like, if Adrian Pasdar was told to work out for this role or something, because if he was, then fair play. But I don't know if the Gravitonium actually made him buffer, or if it actually kind of, you know, like, it went into him. So I don't know if it actually did that, or if he was literally just kind of like puffing out his chest as he walked, and actually kind of walking around like with his chest puffed out and everything, or something. But because I don't remember him looking all that buff, like, beforehand, like when he was in Hale's kind of Hydra prison or anything. But I don't know, either way, he certainly had a confidence boost. He certainly had the most undeniable, most explicit kind of confidence boost, and even ego boost, like, a little bit as well. Yeah, now we got Talbot, the Queen Bee of the Confederacy. So yeah, having that power and utilizing it and feeling that kind of running through his veins and all that kind of stuff, but then also actually seeing the effects of his power and the strength of his power firsthand too. Like he can actually feel and see his enemies and stuff being crushed in front of him. So there's all that kind of stuff. What they are building towards could very well potentially be Talbot being the new enemy if he is a shield, especially that ending too, like him feeling more and more exasperated and furious and just, you know, just in more and more kind of disbelief towards Coulson and his lies and everything. Like it definitely felt more like, you know, he's now because I mean he did say, like he did say you're either with me or you're against me, but then, you know, and then especially when Daisy and May showed up too, he was like, you know, like he's definitely enemied against Daisy and enemy, like he's standing against Daisy too, and he wants Daisy and May to kneel before him in the same way. So he's like he very much has like a, you know, like he very much has like a, like you're either with me or against me kind of thing. But then he's also very clear on what his history with S.H.I.E.L.D. and especially with Coulson has been like, and how much they've kind of gone over his head or gone behind him or actually hidden stuff from him to actually kind of get their mission sorted and to do stuff and everything. So now more than ever he's actually kind of he's demanding like a full and absolute truth, or else I won't trust you, and I don't really fight with or alongside people I don't trust. But then especially like if you betray him, like Hale did, like if you betray him, then well, not even exploding, just like just cutting you up into a ball and everything. So yeah, so I mean, him being the new kind of big bad, even for these next few episodes, I think these next few episodes actually kind of being their own little pod of Talbot being the ultimate enemy and Talbot being the Gravitonian powered kind of big bad and everything. I'm curious to know how it goes, because I think I feel like it could still kind of somewhat be like a compact kind of pod. Like I think they probably don't really they either don't have the space to do much with it, or maybe it's like maybe something they didn't really want to push too far, like actually make him out to be the worst, make him out to be the worst he can be in these few episodes, and then kind of keep it to that. Like maybe actually show like because then Gravitonium it could also be like a way of showing you, like, you know, Gravitonium can affect you so much in so little time. So then, because of that, there's no need to really kind of drag out any kind of transformation or any kind of transition that's the mental or physical. So like once he gets it, he turns into the worst of the worst, and you hate him, and you just kind of struggle to see him actually cooperate with anyone or be reasonable with anyone. So then, because of that, it's such a short pod showing exactly what Talbot's kind of power and his power kind of grab within the Confederacy is like and everything too. So yeah, but yes, I think the Confederacy too, I think the deal that they struck with Earth, I think as Tarian, Master of the House Cassius, so we got that name drop in the end. There's also, I think, yeah, he's I mean, quick kind of tangent too, so he's actually he's the Master of the House Cassius. I think he's the dad. He's the dad. I think because even when they got back to the ship too, to Talbot, it was either to Talbot or Kovas who said that, like, he actually does have two sons. So then we know Cassius is one of them, and I think what was the brother's name? I think was it Fornax. Yes, his brother's name was Fornax. So Fornax and Cassius. I think my mind almost immediately actually went to Targaryen, so then that's probably how I'm going to end up remembering it, like House Targaryen. No, that's Game of Thrones. House Targaryen. That's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But it's not even House Targaryen, it's House Cassius. Yeah, but then assuming the naming thing works in the same way, like Cassius is like a last name, so then it would be like Fornax of the House Cassius, or like Fornax Cassius, and then I don't know, because then the House Cassius kind of indicates that I mean, not obviously indicates that Cassius is the name of the house, but then, you know, Targaryen is the name of the house, but then everyone who comes in, it's like Viserys Targaryen, Daemon Targaryen, Rhaenyra Targaryen. It's an actual surname. So then but then the Cassius we met in the future never had like any other name assigned to him besides from Cassius. So then I don't know if he was somehow lucky enough to actually kind of be named after the house, or if he was like if any other name he had was never revealed, which would be kind of weird. But I don't know. It just kind of struck me as weird. So yeah, they are more of like an actual conglomeration of like more powerful alien races that are so used to and so adapted to and so intent on taking what they can from other races and from other people and everything. So like more like an actual colony of aliens that actually kind of take as they please and make false deals, make false claims and everything, and then just you know, like take what they need and take what they want, and then leave nothing behind. And then, you know, because then the deal is explicitly like they offer protection when the time comes. But then it's like they can't. But then they specified in this situation especially they can't because of what the threat is. But then even like it would mean that is their plan all along. Actually kind of offer faulty claims of protection and then actually turn their back when the time comes. But then walk off with what they have, or if they've taken all they need, then everything they've got. So then, yeah, just really two-faced arseholes. Really, just a bunch of two-faced arseholes, and wonder if it could be representative of like human colonies too. Because then I'm sure in history and maybe even to this day there are like actual kind of governmental kind of factions or governmental policies or deals or something to actually to be like oh, we'll kind of offer you protection, or like in exchange for your resources, for your minerals or for your oils or whatever, we'll give you money, or we'll give you our resources, or we'll give you some kind of protection like both of our militaries combined or something. But then when the time comes they either can't deliver or they don't deliver, or it's just like so something or the other. So I wonder if it could be representative of something that people would actually recognise in the real world. So I don't know, but it's interesting to think about. So yeah. If you know about Thanos, then you probably would end up actually knowing about actually what he wants and stuff, and maybe then wondering like if what he wants includes Earth or actually has some kind of place on Earth, which it did. If you watch the movies, then they don't really be left wondering like exactly how much time they have left compared to how fast Thanos is actually going at collecting all the Infinity Stones. So don't know if like that was the one that they were talking about, or if it was actually just like any kind of alien invasion. Because then Earth's been invaded before too. Earth's been invaded before for the same reason too. For the same reason. I don't know, but either way, so yeah, they mentioned the attack that was imminent. So Thanos, Infinity War, it's happening, it's a-coming. So would it be weird to watch Infinity War after this episode, or like is that when it would take place, or is it only after like because I think we've only got like 2 episodes left. So would it be like after the finale, or like around the time of the finale? Because then don't know if we actually might hear any kind of a word of the Avengers being on Earth, and actually or at least like some of them being on Earth and stuff, and attacks going on in like Wakanda or like New York being attacked, or Thanos also didn't really collected the stones quite quickly too, because then he I think it was probably like for him it was in the space of a week maybe, because then in the movie I think Thor did say like oh, it was actually last week he decimated Xandar and then he stole the Power Stone. So then and then in like that's in the movie. So then like a day maybe 2 after that he then collects the others. So then for him it's like it's been a lifelong quest to search for the stones, but then also to actually build the gauntlet and to have someone capable of harnessing them. But then it's like over the course of a week he actually travels across the stars, goes from Xandar to nowhere, and then to Thor's ship, and then to Titan. Like he never actually went to Earth until the very end, and then to Earth until in the very end too. So in that time, I think maybe then by the time he either got to nowhere or to Xandar, that's a pretty kind of deep kind of intergalactic place with a lot of with a lot of connections to it and everything, and like probably places that many people know, especially Xandar too. So then once that starts, and then people find out why he attacked there, then they figure out, oh, he's after the Infinity Stones, and then if they know that even a couple of Infinity Stones are on Earth, then they find out what he's after, and it's like, oh shit, he's on his way. So now your people probably need to rally some kind of attack and do something. But then even Talbot's kind of Talbot's response to being like, I need to get down there with the Avengers and fight this. And it's like, even then, like, his go-to is the Avengers. Like, he's like, hey, I ain't got time for the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. no more. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are nothing to me now. Now, I am now Graviton Talbot. I have these powers. I have this cool new suit. I have cool new hair and everything. So now the Avengers are the only ones who can really get on my level. So now I'm going to fight with them, and they're going to be my new besties, and we're going to fight Thanos and everything. So, to be fair, Thanos is an Avengers level threat. He's an Avengers level threat, Talbot obviously doesn't see himself as a threat unless you stand against him, so then there's that. But I can't really lie and say that I haven't really kind of wondered what kind of thingy like Avengers kind of villains, or like actual bigger like movie level villains the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually could have taken on. Because then I've often, after watching season 4, I've often told myself like in like a partially humorous and partially sincere way, I've kind of told myself like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. could handle Ultron, but then the Avengers could never handle Ada, because then she was too complex and too thing for them. And I think thinking about, it probably because I think there's I feel like there's like slightly less of like slightly more or slightly less. I think slightly less. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like there's like slightly kind of, or maybe it would be slightly more, because I think I'm still kind of wrapping my head around the whole uncanny valley thing, because I only really kind of came across that kind of concept a while ago, so I'm still wrapping my head around it and actually fully comprehending it. But then I can't tell if there would be more or less of an uncanny valley thing with thingy with Ada, because I feel like it would be more with Ultron, because then he still looks human, and he still has a face. Like, he has no nose, he has a face and like a mouth, and he still looks like a human. He still has a face, and he still talks and communicates and operates like a human and everything, even though he's fully android and everything. But then with Ada, she's actively designed to emulate a human. So then, and you still register her as human, but then you're supposed to. I think I'm pretty sure Uncanny Valley is to do with like stuff that isn't human that you either aren't supposed to, but then you still do because of traits or because of characteristics that represent human displays and stuff, or like human kind of appearances. But then you still do, but then you're not supposed to. But then with Ada you're supposed to, but then with Ultron you're not. But then you still kind of do register him having human kind of characteristics. So I don't know, but either way, I think that's a tangent. The more major movies have always kind of affected Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In some way, like they've at least referenced them, like and stuff, and they've actually always kind of found a way to kind of mold the show kind of around it and show how it's referenced or how it's affected or something, and stuff, like with the agency going down or like powered people coming up and all these different things and everything. So with Infinity War being the most kind of game-changing one of all, like Infinity War and Endgame in tandem being the game-changing ones of all, it would be curious to see, because then I've really still, like, I think I've been lucky enough to avoid spoilers, like, so far, like throughout my entire time watching the show on the channel, I've been lucky enough to avoid spoilers. But then also I think I think back then too, I actually go along with the movies too, I feel like I was far enough away from the fandom and from the show that like nobody I knew, or like nowhere on the internet that I was actually talking about it or anything. So I never really kind of heard word of like, oh, these people or this person on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just died or got dusted or something because of the snap and everything. So that I just didn't really hear anything about it. But now we're edging closer and closer to it. I'm actually wondering, like, could we have a snap on the show? Could we actually get like a dusting? Could we have like one whole scene? Because I feel like what people actually are interested in and what people do want, especially nowadays too, is like an actual story surrounding the snap outside of like an actual superhero perspective too, like like a more civilian perspective of the snap too. So I feel like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., despite the fact that at least some of them are superheroes, I think there's still like a very, very civilian kind of quality and a civilian kind of aspect to it. So I feel like with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Would be like a pretty great place to explore like an actual snap kind of thing happening, and especially with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like the show ended in 2020 as well. So having like an entire season or something, or at least like having a pod of a season, like a pod of next season centered around the snap and like people having disappeared. I think it'd be a crazy thing to explore. I think it would be like a super complex probably to even explore with this too, because then it would be like 5 whole years. Like it took 5 years for them to actually come back too. So then I think one pod probably wouldn't be enough, and one season probably wouldn't be enough either. But then the logistics of it probably wouldn't work out in that way entirely. And probably because the movies and the shows are known to kind of have such a great kind of disconnect between them that they probably wouldn't be able to cooperate enough to make that happen. But you know what? I think in that case, I probably rely on the fan fiction. I probably rely on fan fiction to actually offer me kind of a number of different perspectives on how that could have gone down. So if they can't afford to lose any kind of major S.H.I.E.L.D. agents just yet, then like exactly like if the entire S.H.I.E.L.D. team would be lucky enough, or maybe if that's how we might lose Deke too. Maybe it's like it's not the timeline being changed, but then Deke is actually unlucky enough to be snapped out of existence by Thanos and stuff. But then that's the one irony. Like, okay, so the timeline changing doesn't erase him from existence, but then Thanos' snap actually does, and then that would be like a really fucking big piss take. So I don't know, but yeah, sacrificing the one to save the many. So I think to me it's always been like an actual more morally great thing. I think it's like it's always been presented, and I think it always, but it inherently always is like a thing where it's like, oh, like that one person or like maybe a group of people have to work to make the hard call, to sacrifice the few to save the many. And it's like it's like you I think so sometimes you know who you're sacrificing, and that might make it even harder. But then other times it's like you don't always know who you're sacrificing. You just know exactly why you're sacrificing them, and then what you hope to achieve. So it always, I think it always definitely comes down to how the person making that call and how the person deciding that kind of judgment on the people kind of perceives it and how they react towards it and everything. Like some people kind of definitely kind of feel like they have to live with that decision for the rest of their lives. I think Fitz definitely may well end up feeling that way too. But then it's like, you know, I think like him carrying over the scar tissue of the Doctor's mindset and the Doctor's kind of existence and his kind of principles and everything kind of means that he's now kind of like taken needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, and you must do whatever you can to protect the needs of the many and all that kind of stuff. So with Mack too, I think again they've always made him the kind of guy. It's like, you know, he always fights for what's right. He always fights to protect the ones he loves, no matter what the cost is. He always fights to find a more peaceful, more kind of slightly more pacifist way. Like I think he believes in combat and in violence in the way to defend yourself. He believes in using it to defend yourself, and in self-defense he never believes in using it to escalate or instigate violence or to spark a war or to do anything of that kind, or to even murder or kill anyone who doesn't really deserve it or anything. I think for him too, I think he probably doesn't fully believe that anyone actually does deserve death. But then, you know, because then for him it's like, you know, like they must never turn that shield into a weapon that wages war or actually kills anyone who they feel like it and kills anyone that they think deserves it or anything. So, you know, I think Mack has always kind of been very, very kind of explicit and clear in how his moral code is and how his morality lies and everything. But, you know, I think at some point it does feel more and more like he's actually, like, he's maybe struggling, or maybe he's actually kind of fighting to maintain that kind of thing. Because then we saw how much how much the entire team kind of struggled to maintain their ways in the future, like when they were thrust into a new society with like a new order and a new regime and like a new way of living, like even thrown in amongst humans who had their own ways of living, like humans who believed more than ever in survival of the fittest and even and killing each other and setting each other out. Like, you know, he was thrust into that kind of society and everything, and struggled more than ever to maintain that kind of a mindset of peace and prosperity and like non-violence and stuff. And he I think if anything that future pushed him even harder to fight for what he believes in and to fight to maintain what he believes in, because then, you know, started to worry that like he might be losing himself, or that he might lose himself in that violence, or that Elena might lose herself in the violence too, which she now kind of technically has, because of actually being able to push forward and actually use her own kind of emotional kind of judgment to kill Ruby as well. So leave you wondering exactly where you think these characters might stand, and exactly where you might stand along with them or even against them or something. So yeah. And yeah, Daisy came back with Zhang's bones. So yeah, so nothing compared to what was buried in Coulson's grave. I think she fully dug up her own mother, like her mother's body was actually buried there, and she dug her back up. And the years have definitely shown. I think I mean, I don't know if it's really been, has it really been that much? I think how quickly would an inhuman body decompose? I wonder. Because then Whitehall butchered her, and she still, I mean, granted she was put back together by Cal, she still had like a little bit of life left in her, enough life left in her to really push back from that and to actually heal again. So she has then, with her then fully dead after that too, like actually killed by Cal after that. I then wonder like exactly how long it would have taken for that, because then that was season 2. Actually that was quite a while ago. That was season 2. So, but it's still, how long is there between these seasons? Like, I think season 2 to season 3. I think like a year, maybe 2, like 3 years, maybe 3 years. Like in 3 years, would an inhuman body like would Zhang's inhuman body decay that quickly? Because then her power was specifically healing. Her power was specifically healing, and also not aging, because she had like that kind of healing factor keeping her going and everything. So, you know, I mean, I wonder if that's actually what it was. Like, maybe if it was like, if it was a healing factor like Wolverine's, that actually kind of kept her from aging, or if it was something else. Because then it took Wolverine fucking centuries to age even noticeably. So in human DNA, because then Kane mentioned that it was like some kind of secret element in the centipede serum that actually kind of gave Garrett the healing, kind of the healing that he wanted in it. So then that's also apparently so then there's the centipede serum, but then the secret element that Garrett added into it personally was the Inhuman DNA, was Jiaying's Inhuman DNA. So I mean, I presume it was specifically Jiaying's, because then that's what the map led to Jiaying's grave and everything. So I don't know if any Inhuman DNA would work, or if it would have to be one with like Jiaying specific Inhuman DNA, because then hers like prevented her from aging, but then that could have very easily been a healing factor. So then I wonder then if like he kind of like but then I'm wondering maybe then if he actually used Whitehall's research, because then Whitehall specifically researched on her, like he butchered her, he took her apart to find out how she worked, and he used that. But then Whitehall was able to use that on himself. He was he was actually successfully able to use that on himself, and he then stopped himself from aging. So then he clearly would have taken notes and actually put together research files and folders and stuff. So then maybe because he was Hydra, so then maybe by digging through Hydra's old kind of files and everything, maybe then he was able to locate kind of any kind of leftover kind of resources or leftover serums or leftover samples of Jiaying's DNA that Whitehall would have had, and then actually use that on him too. So then maybe then that's what Kane found, like, oh, he used Jiaying's DNA, but then there's none left after even what Garrett took. So then now this is where you find it, but then he didn't actually know what it was on the map. So maybe then that's how. So yeah, also so then Garrett used Jiaying's DNA maybe then to actually add to the serum and stuff. So then would that stop him from aging? Because then, I mean, he wasn't super old in season 1, but then he was still, I think, maybe appropriately old, maybe? I think, I'm not sure, because then I think he definitely kind of still, so I think, I'm pretty sure they kept him the same age as he was in the flashbacks with, like, the ward that he was training in the woods and everything. So, you know, maybe then because that he actually didn't age as much too. So, you know, granted he only was he was only in season 1, so then they didn't really kind of keep him around long enough to actually kind of give off the fact that he actually had the Inhuman anti-aging kind of serum in him. So yeah, I don't know. So then he had the power from the centipede serum, which was the super soldier stuff that they were already building, but then to maybe kind of give him kind of cellular regeneration too, maybe then adding in Jiaying's kind of cells from Whitehall's research could have given him the boost he needed. So maybe, so yeah. Deep in the lemons, he put the lemons in Daisy's bed. He actually did the thing. I think Daisy didn't really kind of take it too sincere. I think like she was just like, oh, some creep put my lemons who put lemons in my bed as some kind of a joke or some kind of prank or something. So she didn't really gonna take much from it, but just thought it was kind of weird. So there was that, and he's like, oh yeah, Fitz, that classic guy, he loves his pranks and everything. I worked so hard on that to go and buy some fresh lemons and everything. So yeah, I mean, now he can make some very, very kind of sad lemonade. He can make some very, 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 very solemn lemonade and stuff. So I wasn't expecting his rejection to be as emotional as it was. I mean, or at least his reaction to it, at least. Because I was kind of half expecting, like, you know, even if she does reject him, he might take him in stride and, like, laugh it off and maybe cringe a little bit and be like, you know, well, that didn't work. But then he actually, he did, like, feel sincerely kind of actually so like struck down by that. Like I said, she mentioned like he tried to bond with her through grief and through loss and everything, but then she was like, Lincoln, and he was like, oh great, that's a cool name, who's Lincoln? And then she's like, oh, the first and only Inhuman I ever fell in love with, and to this day I think I'm still in love with him. He's like, oh great, so another guy who died for you because he loves you and you still kind of love him. So wow, his chances could not have decreased any more drastically than they actually did. So yeah, again, not like an actual outward kind of rejection of him, but just like more of like an actual sad admission of what her romantic history has been like. And even for her personally, she does not feel too good like connecting with anyone after that happened. But then also like she feels like, because then now Lincoln did die, Coulson is dying and everything, so she just kind of naturally feels like anyone that she allows to connect to her is bound to be taken away. But then again, I think the thing there being that like she deep down, like us as the audience knowing her, she probably deep down wouldn't really kind of want to be with Deacon that way either. But then knowing her, she probably would actually be kind of on the mend of actually forgiving him for stuff she's done, maybe. And stuff, and at least given how much he's actually contributed towards the team now, and how much he's shown that he actually does care, and it really wasn't like an actual personal thing that he actually did to way back when. She probably kind of would be kind of on the mentor towards actually being friends with him, and actually kind of be having him part of the team and having him part of the family now. Because then she also found out that he is her best, like how bad the tension is, like he is like he's officially like her best friend's kind of grandson as well. So that cat came out of the bag and everything. So. Now, I think almost the entire team knows. I think Coulson doesn't know. Coulson and May don't know. I think Mack knows. I think Mack knows. Maybe. I think Mack doesn't know. I think no. Fitzsimmons and Yo-Yo know, and now Daisy knows. I think Elena. No. Yo-Yo knows. I think Mack and May and Coulson are still in the wind about that. So hopefully by the end of the season, hopefully in the next couple of episodes, like they found time to do it here, so I think hopefully in the next couple of episodes, they can find time to do it then too. So hopefully before the season closes, the entire team can be in the know-how. But it definitely felt like a classic case of like, oh, your crush doesn't feel the same way about you, and it's probably never gonna happen. And she has feelings elsewhere, and she has kind of like she personally doesn't feel in any way, shape, or form ready or suited for like a relationship right now. So then that's pretty much her choice and her own personal kind of preference and everything. So that's something I fully believe Deke will be able to respect and everything. I think he's perfectly valid in how he feels. Like if he's kind of sad or if he feels rejected, then he's perfectly valid in that and everything. So regardless of that, I still feel kind of confident towards like a good and soulful and platonic and positive kind of Deke and Daisy kind of pairing in that sense. So yeah, whatever happens, happens. So, yeah. The same way the snap has to happen in the movies, they couldn't just go back and actually, like the way branch timelines work, so then it's like, because then they couldn't go back and undo, and prevent the snap entirely, because then, even if they did, that would branch off into another timeline, where the snap just didn't happen, but then the main timeline would still exist, and the main timeline would still have the snaps. So then the only way the main timeline could move forward is to take the stones, undo the snap, and then return the stones back to make sure that the timeline actually flowed as it should do. So. But then the way the timeline went, they could only undo the snap. They could never prevent it. So then, I wonder then maybe if those laws of times if those laws of time would still apply here, where it's like they maybe can't. I mean, they would kind of have to, but then but then again, the way this has been going, I think it's kind of hard then to predict exactly what the next season could be like. So then, in that sense, maybe they can't fully prevent the Earth from being destroyed or cracked or like being damaged in some way, but then they can actually kind of like undo it maybe, or change how it happens, or maybe change how it happens, or change to what extent it happens. So maybe the Earth is still fractured in some way or something, I don't know, but I wonder, I just kind of wondered maybe if the same kind of timeline logic they applied in the movies could actually be applied here in the same way. So then, it kind of leaves you wondering exactly like how badly the Earth might be destroyed, or exactly how it might be destroyed, or if they'd go forward with that at all. So I don't know, because then I think the future they're trying to prevent is a number of different things, like the Earth being destroyed is one, but then also the Kree taking over Earth and humanity being enslaved and pretty much everyone they care about in some way, shape, or form dying too. It's a combination of different things that are the result of the Earth being destroyed. So then maybe if the Earth is destroyed, but then they're all still together, maybe, or I don't know. But I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. But yeah, that was the one kind of tangent I kind of wanted to revisit. So yeah. But yeah, for now that is it. For now, at long last, I've been talking for a long while now. That is it. So yeah, very much looking forward to seeing how these next couple of episodes fare and how this season comes to a nice, neatly packed close and everything. So it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, that is it for now. So that was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, episode number 20. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next in these next couple of episodes, and how you feel about moving forward into the season finale and everything. For those interested, the full-length reaction will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So until the next time, bye bye for now.